Hi, this is Charlene Fink with Farm Journal Media, here with Gavin Maguire with eHedger at Marketing Rally 2009. Gavin, with the volatility that we're seeing in the markets these days, what do you think is the most important first steps for producers to have as they try to up their game?
At eHedger, we've been trying to emphasize the importance of really getting to grips with your own operations' strengths and weaknesses and the key numbers that your business works off. When do you start to make a really meaningful profit on your opportunities? Because really getting a good understanding of your break-even, of a target price, of how much you've sold to date, that really makes decision-making about further marketing decisions all that much easier. And I think the current environment is so volatile, and we have these fleeting price moves that really give people a chance to sell very aggressively, we think, and at a good profit. But many farmers don't have a good enough understanding to know to recognize a good opportunity when it comes. And often by the time they do determine that it was a good, strong, profit-making opportunity, the opportunity is passed. So we are emphasizing a much better and more disciplined approach towards getting your numbers straight and organized. How much have you sold so far? What do you have left to sell? And if you know those numbers well, then you can automatically react with aggression and with confidence when it comes to being able to fire off an aggressive round of sales. If you know that 450 corn equates to $1 profit per for your crop, that's always going to be an excellent return no matter what. And so we would love to be able to have all producers to make more confident decisions and be comfortable making those decisions. And we think that only happens when you have a good and more complete understanding of your own numbers to begin with. And so it's kind of ironic, but just a better, more disciplined approach towards keeping your own numbers, we think will be crucial for going forward.
How do you get started at that?
It unfortunately is quite painful really to begin with. You have to actually do the dirty work and work out your own break-even costs. You have to actually determine your own costs of all of your inputs and add them up and be honest about it. But you only have to do that once, thankfully. So it's a good time to do it ahead of time before you're too busy being out in the field. And then it's actually very crucial to be diligent about tracking what you've already done in terms of cash sales. So keep things up to date. Don't go 3 months and promise that you'll go back and do it sometime, because we all are bad at doing that. Right. But if the ideal marketing environment, you only do 3 or 4 sales a year. It shouldn't take too much to keep track of them. And many firms, including eHedger, have a good tools to use that are now allow you to keep track of things quite simply. But the emphasis is it's worth putting in the effort. It really is. It will take an afternoon to get all of your numbers straight, but once they're down on paper, they're your numbers and you know what to do with them then. And that makes decision making all that much easier and painless going forward.
What do you think is the #1 market moving factor that producers should be watching right now?
Right now, I think it's money flow. I think there's a great deal of investment dollars coming out of the US dollar and looking for a home in assets and markets that correlate very loosely or negatively with the US dollar. So that's important to be paying attention to right now. But I think a good producer should also be mindful of what's going to be important down the road. We don't really know what that's going to be today, but I think being aware of other macro themes, it could be what's going on in South America, it could be what's going on in the regulatory environment, trying to rein in speculative participation, or maybe ethanol. To be mindful not just of what's going on today, but what's going on in the wings. That's what a good grower needs to be aware of. You don't have to know each of the details intimately, but it's important to know that there are conversations going on right now about the blend rate in ethanol. There is conversations going on about CFTC trying to slap the wrists of aggressive speculators. So changes and policy could be made at a moment's notice. They don't let us know ahead of time that they're going to change that. So it's important, I think, for people to be aware that while today is money flow, tomorrow it could be something else.
Great. Well, if you'd like to know more about Gavin and eHedger, you can follow them on agweb.com and on their website as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.